All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 105, being recorded live on February 22nd, 2020. I'm your host, Taylor, and this week I'm, of course, joined by Anthony. How are you?
Not too bad. Holding a cat at the moment, but he seems to run out the door.
out of there.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired. I woke up like 20 minutes ago.
Nice.
So it is only like 9 o'clock for me at the moment, 9 a.m. I just... so I'm not an afternoon sleeper, but yeah, I do like the occasional sleep in.
Okay.
Aside from that, as far as gaming's related, I haven't really been playing too much. I picked up South Park: The Stick of Truth. That's interesting. I've never played that before.
Isn't it censored in Australia?
That's the first one, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's the first one.
Yes to both of those questions. It's both censored and it's also the first one.
What do they censor?
Everything fun.
A lot of like, what's the term? I guess toilet humor isn't really a thing here at all.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So it's still got like swearing and stuff in it, but it's and like a couple of other stuff things as well, like innuendos and whatever. But it's a lot of it's been taken out as well. But that's kind of funny and kind of fun. So I haven't really played a whole heap of that. I've only played a couple of, probably like an hour of it. I was going to play some yesterday, but then kind of got sidetracked with other stuff. I've been playing some Apex, got back into that. I want to say I am slowly getting better. I say that every week.
If you keep playing it, you're probably doing better, right?
Yeah.
I've got like a tactic where you go to like the shooting range before having a match to like hone yourself in. Because, if you come across one squad, you might only go up against one guy. And then you got to play like 5 or so games to get, warmed up.
Yeah.
So I find like if I do that, I'm a lot more accurate every time.
Okay.
Like every game. So yeah, I've been getting a few kills and stuff and haven't won any more games, but yeah.
You dropping Skull Town yet?
I haven't played Thingo yet. King's Canyon yet. It's back in.
Oh, I was about to
for
ask.
a
Okay,
couple
King's Canyon
days.
is back in. Okay, cool.
When's it out? When is tomorrow?
Say it stops on the 24th or something like that. I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
24th. So I'll have to jump into that today, hopefully. Yeah, and aside from that, I haven't really been playing anything else at all, hardly.
Okay.
No, like single-player games or anything like that. So yeah, that's it for me this week.
All right. Andrew, you're here, of course.
Oh,
Hello.
Hold on, I'm already getting interrupted. Give me 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Please. Yeah.
All right, well, I guess I'll go with what I've been doing.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Modern Warfare this past week, a lot of Battlefield 4, both games super fun. Still like those games a lot and everything. I'm grinding out Damascus Steel in Modern Warfare, which is every single gun platinum. And so you pretty much have to do challenges with every weapon. And so, yeah, It's kind of a lot. It is kind of a lot, but getting through it. I'm almost through all the assault rifles.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see, what else? I don't think I've been playing any other, like, single-player games this week. I think it's just mostly been Battlefield and COD that I've been playing this past week, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've also been playing Call of Duty.
Okay.
I unlocked the crossbow.
Oh, fun.
Boy, is that a fun thing to use, but it's also not good. It's pretty cool. It's like a one-shot kill pretty much every time, I think. So, big fan of that. It's like feels really satisfying when you hit somebody with it.
Oh, that's good.
Super on board with that. What else? I got dual pistols.
Oh, Akimbo.
I was like grinding. Yeah, like it's what was it? You have to like get so many pistol kills with like a certain like perk, and the only perk I had was sort of like kind of crappy pistols. So I have like crappy dual pistols, but it's fun. I wish I had like dual like Desert Eagles or whatever, but
That's hilarious to see the dual Desert Eagle.
Yeah, I've seen the dual revolvers. That one's pretty good too.
Okay.
And then I picked up Yakuza 6.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a game. I didn't realize the game was 2 years old. But that game's pretty cool. It's
Is it on PC or PS4?
I think it's just PS4 only right now.
Sure.
But I don't know. I haven't played like 3, 4, or 5, so the story's a little, I'm like confused. But I don't know. It's still fun. You're still doing weird stuff like talking with like an AI robot through your phone who's like trying to take over. It's really weird, but I'm enjoying it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's been it for me. Really, nothing too wild.
Okay. Metro Exodus is now available on Steam. I just saw that pop up. Interesting.
Ooh.
Anyway.
It's on Game Pass too.
Oh yeah. But other than that, I think it was like Epic Store or whatever. Yeah, let's see what else. What else was I doing right now? Oh, did you see they released the Year 5 pass for Rainbow Six?
I did.
Yeah, it's going into its 5th year already.
Yeah, that's wild, right?
Yeah.
They said they're gonna bring it to PS5 and Xbox One Series.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll
they
like
can
upgrade it or if they'll just kind of port it.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of both. From something I read like 2 years ago at this point, or like a good year ago. I think Ubisoft were asked something about like what's your plans for next gen, and they said that they were going to port Rainbow Six, but also give it like a graphical upgrade as well for next
That'd be
gen.
nice. That'd be nice.
So yeah.
Yeah. The new operators look pretty cool. One guy can like break through walls and like
The
go up
Kool-Aid Man.
hatches.
Yeah, the Kool-Aid Man.
Why is he the Kool-Aid Man?
Because he breaks through
he
walls.
breaks through walls.
You know those
we don't
commercials?
have Kool-Aid here, but whatever.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if Kool-Aid. I think Kool-Aid.
We've
still
got
exists.
cordial.
It's bad.
Okay.
What?
I made Kool-Aid like 5 years ago, thinking it'd be hilarious. It's just all sugar.
The only time I really
Ah,
drank
yeah,
Kool-Aid
heck
were like
yeah.
those little like plastic squeeze bottles.
Oh,
that-
those were
that
cool.
comes- yeah.
The little like tab you pulled off.
Yeah, I ate them, or not ate them. I drank one.
Ate them.
I drank one not many years ago, like when I was like teenager or whatever. I just remember it's just like, oh god, this is like ungodly sweet. It was just like I remember
like
thinking
chemicals.
I paid like $2.50 for it or whatever. It's just like there's barely anything in there. It's like a 6-ounce bottle, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like oh, this is
like
a
us
rip
with
off.
Cordial as well.
Yeah, those bottles were so weird. They like were like this weird soft plastic.
Yeah. They had like this really like sharp seam too. It was just like, how did I not cut myself all over this as a kid? Yeah. Okay, memories. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played Rainbow Six in a while. I'm not sure if I'll pick up the Year 5 pass or not. I just don't play it enough anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, I played a couple matches the other night, and I was like, this game's cool.
Okay, game's still good.
But
yeah.
yeah, still a good game. I don't know if I would sink too much money into it though.
Yeah. Alright. Anyhow, so getting through some of the housekeeping stuff before we get into the news stories for this week. The main site is, of course, cultureofgaming.com. There you can find all the latest gaming news, reviews, opinion pieces, etc., etc. Also a little bit of anime, a little bit of tech and everything. I'm waiting for Mozilla to finally figure out what they're doing on mobile with the Firefox browser before hitting the publish button on this article I wrote, which is basically like a detailed guide to privacy in 2020. So yeah, look forward to that. It's like 3,000 words or so, so it's a bit of a read, but it accomplishes the goal of trying to consolidate and condense as much information out there as possible, and briefly explain why. Anyway, yeah, and then other fun pieces up there, just as soon as Mozilla figures out their mobile Firefox thing. And then 2 Facebook pages supplementing the main site. There is the COD Network, the Facebook page for the main site, and the Power Up Podcast Facebook page, facebook.com/COD Network, facebook.com/Power Up Podcast. Yeah, go there, keep up with some stuff, social media stuff, etc., etc. We have a community Discord, a link to which you can find on the right-hand side sidebar of the main site, and there you can chat with everyone you see on the podcast and pretty much every other COD staff member, I believe. Okay, and then Twitter at the COD Network, Instagram at Culture of Gaming, YouTube.com/Culture of Gaming, and Mixer.com/culture_of_gaming. And then, of course, you can find a repository of all the previously recorded podcast episodes on wherever you get your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Pocket Casts, etc., etc. Anyway, so getting right into the gaming news this week, nothing really major. Just a bunch of little, like, small things. So I'm not sure how long this thing will go for. It might be a little bit shorter than normal, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, the first topic got lined up here is headline reads, one man review bombs a game on Metacritic because he had a massive crush on an in-game character. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this is the power of waifus. Okay?
The peak of gamers.
Yes. So this article is coming to us from Nintendo Life and regards the game called AI, the Somnium Files. Okay, so
yeah.
AI, the Somnium Files, the latest outing from Kotaro Zero Escape Uchikoshi, is a pretty great game, as you'll know if you've already consulted or reviewed the Switch version. It's pretty sure, I don't want to say it's a Switch exclusive, but I think it was like...
No, it's on PC as well.
Okay. I was going to say, I think it might be on Steam. Okay. However, a short time ago, fans noticed that the Switch version's Metacritic aggregate user score had taken a dramatic tumble, falling from 8.2 to 1.9. Talking about Warcraft 3 levels here, in the space of just 24 hours, forcing Uchikoshi, the director, and assistant director Okada Akira to publicly appeal to fans to help restore some order. This shows a tweet from Uchikoshi where he's saying, would you please help us? The Somnium Files was review bombed on Metacritic and everything. And that was posted on February 11th. And then a thread on the Reset Era forum, was opened, which began to flood with theories, and some suggesting that disgruntled players had taken issue with the game's pro-LGBT+ stance. However, on February 8th, a user named Kravi Abadas posted on the same Reset Era thread to claim responsibility, stating that they had single-handedly review-bombed the game as a way of, quote, deliberately demonstrating how utterly busted the site is, end quote. Abadas had a point to make for sure, as we already know from games like Astral Chain and Pokemon Let's Go, Metacritic's aggregate user score can be easily manipulated and abused, but what makes this case so unique is that it appears to be the work of a single person rather than a campaign to get multiple people to leave negative reviews. Abadas, whose account on Reset Era is now banned, explains how easy it is to review bomb games on Metacritic. He said, quote, in case you're wondering how absurdly easy it is for one person to screw everything up so easily, that's a double negative, it turns out they, 1, don't block every temp email site out there. The email alias feature on sites like Gmail might also have the same effect. 2, have zero protection against people making multiple accounts at the same IP address. 3, doesn't even verify if you own the damn game. The main lesson here is that Metacritic is utterly worthless when it comes to user reviews. Remember when people review-bombed Portal 2, now considered to be one of the best games ever made, because the game had a tiny, completely unobstructive hack store? As a reminder, Steam, which actively protects against this sort of thing and requires you to own the game before reviewing it, still has, quote, very positive, end quote, reviews. That rating and everything, you know, you see on the side of the Steam page and everything. Goes from, like, very positive, extremely positive, mixed, etc.
Question, though. How could Metacritic verify that you own a game that's on a console?
You really couldn't, though, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, true. I mean, they could kind of do, like, a console app or something, like, for Xbox and for PS4, whereby it verifies your game files, perhaps.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
And it's just like a tick the box. How do you enjoy it out of 5 stars? Or
maybe like, I don't know, you could like link like your gamer tag or like Xbox account or like PSN maybe, account into Metacritic and be like, oh, you have playtime in this game. Sure, you own it, right? That might be a step in the right direction. Anyway, the last bit of this is, the plan was to make a proper thread a few days after my tests were finished, demonstrating how you can easily turn any obscure game into one of the best or worst games of all time with just a few hours of work. Hence why I ended up archiving everything each step of the way. Anyone who's familiar with my previous threads or watched the Game Explain video on Tomohiro Kawase knows I like doing investigative articles on gaming, and this was going to be no different. So, while this might seem like a noble piece of investigative work to highlight Metacritic's weaknesses, Abadas' post realized there's another motive for the selection of AI, the Somnium Files, the ill treatment of Asset. I think actually it'd be Asset, based on pronunciation, but anyway. One of the game's main female characters. Asset is an idol created especially for the game who has generated a lot of fan interest online, including a fan artwork and other tributes, essentially the waifu of this game. She was seen in a series of YouTube videos which tied directly into AI, the Somnium Files. Abadas admits to having a massive crush on the character due to general attachment issues.
Okay.
Yeah. It's worth noting that the following quote contains spoilers for the game, but this is coming from Abadas on Reset Era again. To reiterate my thoughts on the game from previous threads, I loved most of the Asset videos and found them to be incredibly endearing, even developing a massive crush on her due to my general attachment issues, but I hated the actual game for how it basically ignores everything said videos were trying to build up, to the point that it takes, Knights at Laws? Okay. The proper antagonist of said videos, and tosses it aside by cruelly making them a hallucination caused by Asset having a brain tumor, holy shit, with barely any foreshadowing, and even requires you to rip her effing eye out yourself as part of a one of the sync machines tries to remove an eye plotline that other characters get to conveniently ignore, all part of a route that's specifically about her. The protagonist being an unlikable a-hole whose sole character trait is haha funny sex joke, plus basically spends 90% of the game completely abandoning his adoptive daughter, and the fact that I personally find the storyline it uses instead to be a complete and utter nonsense filled with plot holes and ridiculous logic. Abadas ends the post by lamenting the, quote, unfortunate situation, end quote, and seems to hint that their efforts may lead to the game reaching an even wider audience. Going on to say, honestly, if there's one takeaway you should get from this unfortunate situation I've gotten myself into, it's that Asset means a lot to me. Even though I hated how her game turned out, it still makes me really happy to see people doing things like creating fan art, and hopefully this encourages you, and Spike Chunsoft themselves, I really wish they'd make more videos, to continue supporting her. Even if it does end with you acquiring Somnium Files and actually enjoying it.
Okay.
And then brief follow up. As of February 12th, things were back to normal. So a follow up article also from Nintendo Life. Now in a turn of events, AI, the Somnium Files, as highlighted by a Twitter user, has become the highest user rated Switch game on Metacritic of all time. At the time of writing, which was back on February 12th, it's got a user score of 9.0 and sits just above Astral Chain and Super Mario Odyssey. Before plummeting to 1.9, the game was sitting at 8.2. Now it's even better off than it originally was. So,
love it. Yeah, with a small game like that, I guess all it really takes is like 20 or 30 negative reviews.
Pretty susceptible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Did it say how many he wrote?
No, it didn't evidence that number. I think it was in the hundreds, though. I'm not sure.
I don't know why I found that really funny.
Yeah. So this is the power of waifus, right? Wow.
I don't know, man. That's pretty funny.
Hey, he ended up helping this game out, I guess. So
yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm now partially interested in picking it up. Let me pull up the Steam page for it real quick.
I think I've played it, actually.
I don't even know what it is.
It's like $60. Okay.
Ooh.
Released September 17th, 2019. This seems like it's a visual novel. I'm not certain.
Yeah.
The screenshots aren't really loading for me right now on Steam for some reason. Yeah, what is this? I'm trying to figure out.
Steam won't even load for me.
Steam Trading Partial at Steam Cloud.
Random.
I can't really get a good sense of what it is. Such a thing, sure. This might be either like a really mild 3D game or like almost like a Heavy Rain-esque sort of thing. Oh, it is in fact. Okay, no, it is a visual novel. I missed the tab there. It is a visual. Okay. Okay.
Somnium Files.
Yeah.
The series of adventure games is split into two types of sections: investigation and Somnium parts. Within the Somnium parts, Aba takes on the form of a humanoid and acts as the player's avatar. Okay.
Interesting.
Fun. All right. Yep. Seems like kind of neat game. I don't know. Yeah. I guess like I don't know. The broader conversation to have here, right, is going to be game journalism. I don't say relies on Metacritic quite a bit, but I guess like it's referenced quite a bit. I know we've referenced Metacritic scores quite a bit on the podcast. A lot of media outlets do it as well, and I kind of believe like I kind of get the sense that the general sentiment surrounding a game is kind of like determined by the Metacritic stuff. But you know, maybe you guys think this is like becoming a fallacy now because of how easy it is to just absolutely taint something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Like that, it's the same problem we've had forever. Like Rotten Tomatoes has this issue, like all that stuff, right? Like,
yeah, any sort of like crowdsourced review platform like that is going to have this issue.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess Metacritic matters, but I don't know if people are necessarily putting a lot of weight into the user.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess it's case to case, right? Like.
Yeah, sure.
Each person is like, oh, trust the critics more. They'll trust the users more. So.
Okay.
Like me personally, I never use Metacritic. I never even like 90% of games I look up like for
Yeah.
reviews or whatever. I don't look at a Metacritic score. It's
Yeah.
not because I don't want to. I just for some reason I never do, and I don't really think about Metacritic at all. And it's
Okay.
always like, oh, that's right, Metacritic exists.
Yeah. It's
So-
like, obviously I reference Metacritic quite a bit, but I've never personally used it to determine whether or not I was going to buy
Yeah.
a game or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So I
I-
usually look at like individual reviews or whatever, not from like IGN or anything like that, because personally I don't really like the way they review games. But like I don't know, I feel like Metacritic is slowly dying, and it's been replaced like like platforms like OpenCritic, for
Right.
instance,
oh yeah, sure.
whereby it has links to all their reviews. It's basically the same as Metacritic, but not from the 90s. You know,
Okay, fair
Metacritic
enough.
seriously needs to update their website too, by the way. But
On
I don't
blast.
know. Well,
Yeah.
that's true.
Okay.
So I feel like Metacritic is becoming less and less and less needed.
Mhm.
But it's not just game journalists or like consumers that use Metacritic. It's also the games themselves that also, like in their marketing, Metacritic score of blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. So a lot of games do that as well. But yeah, I feel like Metacritic needs to die, to be honest.
Okay. Wow.
I've heard even people like getting like, oh, if you hit like a certain number on Metacritic, like there's a bonus for like the development team. And stuff.
Yeah, wasn't that the whole thing with like between Bethesda and Obsidian with Fallout New Vegas or whatever?
I
Do
think
you remember
they
that?
like were like 1 point under or something.
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do you mean like a bonus? Like
As in,
Like a cash bonus for
Yeah.
like the
Oh.
teams, like, oh, you guys got an 85 on Metacritic or something. Like, well, that's awesome. Like, we'll congratulate everybody by giving them a bonus.
Okay.
yeah, let me
So
pull
like,
up an
I don't
article
know, like
about it.
setting some kind of goal, I guess,
Yeah.
for the
yeah.
development team.
Yeah.
That's not just make a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was back in GameSpot, back in 2012 or whatever. Fallout New Vegas developer Obsidian Entertainment would have collected an unspecified bonus if the 2010 role-playing game scored an 85 aggregate review site on Metacritic, according to co-founder Chris Avalon. It scored an 84.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Vegas was a straight payment contract to Obsidian Entertainment. No royalties, only a bonus if we got an 85 or higher on Metacritic, which we didn't. That was from Chris Avalon on Twitter. That's
That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild that like
Yeah.
people put that much stock into, like, you know, an aggregate website.
yeah, considering it's like a that's like corporate level decision almost, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So anything else to say about Metacritic? I just thought the story was kind of funny.
Yeah, it's a funny story.
Yeah.
I don't know. Metacritic's a fun thing that I don't put a lot of stock into, but it's always fun to look at how bad or how good something's doing.
Yeah,
Mm,
just
yeah.
see what life is like in the neighborhood for something, you know.
What is the worst rated game on Metacritic?
Warcraft 3 Reforged.
User or like
Is-
this follow the user or the other one?
Let's find out right now.
I bet you Deadly Premonition is real well.
Games.
Metacritic. Oh, wait, what? It is Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Yeah. We literally covered
Oh.
this story, Fab.
Uh,
No, not 29. Okay, well, that'll do, whatever.
I don't know. Deadly Premonition's like at 70. Huh.
Yeah, we're. Wait, hold on. It's not gonna be a worse game.
Eternity's Last Unicorn 3.6. Nice.
Okay. Yeah, there's some interesting like title games you can find on Metacritic. Anyway, so moving on. This is I don't want to say this is kind of another minor story coming out of Kotaku, and it deals with EA. EA killed a third Star Wars game late last year. This is sort of expose written at Kotaku by Jason Schreier, the man himself. Says, last spring, Electronic Arts canceled a planned spin-off of its popular Star Wars Battlefront series, the third Star Wars game that the publisher has asked since 2017. This latest game, codenamed Viking, was originally envisioned to release in fall 2020 alongside the next generation of consoles. But once it became clear to EA's executives that the timeline was unrealistic, Viking was no more. This account is based on interviews with 6 people familiar with EA's inner workings, all of whom spoke anonymously because they were not authorized to speak to a reporter about cancelled projects. The backstory of Viking is itself worthy of a Star Wars intro scroll. It started off a long time ago, 2015, in a galaxy far away, San Francisco, at the EA-owned studio Visceral Games, which spent 2 years developing a Star Wars heist game called codenamed Radtag under the well-known director Amy Hennig in October 2017. In October 2017, EA shut down Visceral and canceled Radtag, although it said that Radtag's art assets would be shipped up to the Canadian game studio EA Vancouver for a brand new open-world Star Wars game. We covered that story.
We did.
Yeah, about the, it's like they canceled the open-world game and whatnot. Interesting. Yeah. That was in the midst of the Battlefront 2 fiasco also. Yeah, that second game, Orca, was in development all throughout 2018 until it too was cancelled by EA. Kotaku broke the news of Orca's cancellation last year. At the time, it reported that EA Vancouver was spinning up a smaller Star Wars project to replace it, one that would be planned for release in fall 2020 alongside the next-gen PlayStation and Xbox. EA executives like to call it a financial hole that needed filling. Okay. This third game was called Viking, and it was designed as a spin-off of the Star Wars Battlefront series with open-world elements. The plan was also for EA to bring in yet another studio to help out, Criterion, based in London, England, which was previously best known for racing games like Burnout and Need for Speed. EA Vancouver spent some time designing ideas and prototypes for Viking, and Criterion came aboard soon afterward. That was when the problem started. Although Criterion was, on paper, the lead studio, the logistical challenges of cross-country game development made that a difficult proposition. As one person involved with the game said, too many cooks was a running theme. Criterion leads had an ambitious vision for the game, aiming to put a strong focus on story and characters. It soon became clear that Viking would never be finished in just a year, and EA's executives had no interest in extending the timeline. Viking was cancelled in the first half of 2019, although this news has gone unreported until now. That fall 2020 financial hole will still go unfilled. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
How
you know,
can
in May
how can you-
2013 is when EA signed the exclusivity agreement for Star Wars with Disney. Okay? They've only put out 3 Star Wars games, 2 of which...
Battlefront 1 and 2.
Yeah, and Fallen Order. 2 of which have been an absolute PR nightmare for both Star Wars and EA. And the other one was decently received.
Didn't they do... I thought they did another game.
Nope.
I don't know, man. A lot of people are like... Battlefront 2 is really good now, it's been updated, blah blah blah. Yeah. It's still garbage.
Yeah. Okay. Did you
Just
play it
right
or
now.
something? Okay.
I played it when it first came out.
Yeah.
And I've reinstalled it just to see how it's going, and it's not good. Not good. It's repetitive. It's I don't know. Like it's 90% of the time you can't get a match. So that doesn't help. The only mode you can really play is heroes and villains, or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
Like Side and Dark Side.
Oh yeah.
The campaign's it hasn't changed. It's still garbage.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you're not the biggest fan of this game, then, is what you're getting at.
Correct.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's not bad, but it's a 6.
It's a 6. Okay, 6 out of 10.
It's a 6.
All right. Yeah, you know, the first game was, like, kind of cool. Like, the first Battlefront game that EA did was kind of cool, you know.
Which one?
Or the one that was out in, like, 2016, 2015? No, like 2015, 2016. The first EA Star Wars Battlefront of the new ones, or whatever. The first one that ran on Frostbite. Here, let me qualify that, okay? That was kind of cool. Although, it was just like, you didn't get a whole lot of content in that game. And it's like, the player base just dwindled really quickly. And then, you know, in 2017, the whole Battlefront 2 thing happened. And it's like, right? That would have had to have been 2017. That had to have been.
For Battlefront 2? Yeah, I think so.
November 17th, 2017. Yeah, okay, I remember correctly. Yeah, it's like Battlefront 2 obviously launched to the whole loot box disaster fiasco thing, arguably when EA was at a very, very low point in its company history. And yeah, And then, last year, November, they released Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which scored pretty good, I'd say. This is a good
Pretty
summary.
decent, yeah.
Pretty good, pretty decent. Game was decently fun. I would give it about a 7 out of 10. So, yeah, it's like, well, over 7 years, they've cranked out 3 games, 2 of which have been disastrous, and they've canceled 3 games also in that same span of time.
I wonder how much is like Disney. This is like on Disney.
You
Like-
think some of it might be on Disney?
I mean, some of it's got to be on Disney, right?
Okay.
Like them just being like, we don't like this project, like,
Get rid of it.
and
They
everyone's
canceled
kind of like,
1313 because of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So I mean, there's clearly like just
Well, we're
Something
saying
going
that 1313 is still in development.
what?
What?
Yeah, there was something that I
Citation needed, please.
I don't know if it was a rumor, but it was something that I read, I believe, or watched, saying that 1313 is still, it hasn't like fully been scrapped.
Oh, okay.
Is
Okay.
1313 dead?
Fair enough. Okay, so one of the takeaways from this article here that I got, though, was, like, the art assets from Visceral's games are still, like, under EA's control. I mean, these seem like perfectly developed assets and everything. They're able to be ported over for use in development. So it's like EA has a bunch of unused assets that they need to put to work into a Star Wars game. So maybe that'll help something, sometime down the future. I don't know. But you see what I'm saying there? It's just like, what are they going to do with those?
Yeah, I see. Well, yeah,
What?
like they have all these games they've made, but
Oh,
they're not doing anything else with it. Like the Stormtrooper asset or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they have just, with Battlefront, why couldn't they have just, in a sense, rebooted, or not so much rebooted, but like polished up, given it a graphical upgrade, old Battlefront 1 and 2, because they were fantastic. They were really good games.
It would be a nightmare to port to Frostbite, I think.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. I need to look up Battlefront 2 2007.
I feel like I remember buying Battlefront when I was a kid. And this game is gonna be great, and then I think, wait a minute, I don't like this.
what engine does Battlefront 2, the 2005 one, work on? It works on the Zero game engine created by Pandemic Studios. There would have been no way to port it. Yeah.
I think he just means like, it's not the engine that's the big deal. I don't think the issue is it.
Well, I mean, okay, so it's like if you were to do just like a graphical asset and everything, it's like upgrade and everything, you would need.
You'd have to redevelop the whole thing.
Yeah.
You would need to do engine work, basically. It's like if it would be different if it was going from like UE3, Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 4. That would be doable and everything. But this is just a totally different thing. Whether they did Unreal Engine like they did with Fallen Order, or if they did Frostbite, it would have been a nightmare. I think Zero is somewhat proprietary also.
Probably.
Yeah. Pandemic is defunct as of 2009. So they're the ones who developed it.
Dang.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, so as of 2017, 1313 wasn't dead, but they were saying that they were going to use assets from 1313 in the Untitled Star Wars game, which was The Force Awakens. Force Awakens, what am I talking about? Fallen Order.
Oh, okay. That kind of made
Yeah.
sense.
So
Okay.
I think they used a lot of stuff out of that for that.
Okay, but then I'm talking about this other game though. There's still assets from this game, and you go into another one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anything else to say about this besides EA fits your stuff?
No.
Give us KOTOR 3, please. Thank you, bye.
Right.
Oh yeah, didn't we talk about that rumor a couple weeks ago or whatever? KOTOR 3?
Yeah,
Okay. that might be cool.
not gonna happen though.
I mean, it would be, but like,
Right.
that game would be so big and would take so long.
Yeah.
Clearly, they are not good
Yeah.
at putting
not
Star Wars
gonna
games
happen.
Hmm?
Give it to CD.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, just give it to CD. That works so well.
Right. Yeah. So does EA have anything coming out this year?
Nothing announced.
FIFA
but, I mean, FIFA and Madden, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
haven't we discussed this as well?
Yes, we have. Do you want? We're not going to repeat ourselves. We're going to move on. So, Anthony, let's talk about the coronavirus yet again.
So this is coming from quite a few different articles, 3 to be exact. I also have a topic to discuss after this as well, Taylor, because it wasn't in the sheet, and I just wanted to let you know. Okay, so the latest. I'll go from oldest to newest. That works. So Sony, this was announced on February 12th. So this is a couple of weeks ago. So Sony has officially cancelled the Mobile World Congress due to the coronavirus, which is held in, where's that held?
It was going to be held
Barcelona.
in Madrid. Oh, Barcelona, sorry.
Yeah, it was going to be held in Barcelona. It's like a tech event that's held every year.
It mostly focuses on phones.
Yeah, correct. So I'm not going to read all that because it's massive and it's too old. So that's one of the events that they've cancelled. They've also cancelled, I think this one's older than the other one.
Quick asterisk with the Mobile World Congress thing. It's like a lot of other, mostly Chinese companies had pulled out of Mobile World Congress also. And then once Sony did, they were like, okay, we don't really have an event anymore, do we? So it's like, okay, it's canceled.
Yeah. So, yeah. The next event that they pulled out of was PAX East 2020. And I will actually read from this. So this is coming from this week. Sony just provided an update on their PlayStation blog about the company's planned PAX East 2020 participation, and it's not a good one. Today, Sony Interactive Entertainment, this is on February 19th, made the decision to cancel its participation at PAX East in Boston this year due to the increased concerns related to COVID-19 or coronavirus. We felt this was the safest option as the situation is changing daily. We are disappointed to cancel our participation at this event, but the health and safety of our global workforce is our highest concern. Sony's PAX East 2020 participation was particularly important for fans since it would have been the first and only way for them to try The Last of Us Part 2 ahead of the game's late May release date.
Okay.
There were many more exciting PlayStation games available at Sony's booth, those such as Below, Cloudpunk, Doom Eternal, Dreams, which is already out, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Genshin Impact, Gorn, which is a PSVR title, Haven, The Last of Us Part 2, Marvel's Iron Man VR, MLB The Show 20, Mosaic, Moving Out, Neo 2, One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows, Paper Beast, Persona 5 Royale, Pixel Ripped, Predator Hunting Grounds, Remnant from the Ashes.
Okay.
Hey, what?
Predator Hunting Grounds. It's like that cool. I forget the exact term for it, but it's like 4 versus 1 sort of thing. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, multiplayer thing. Asymmetric.
Like
yes.
Evolve.
Thank you. Yes.
The Room VR, Space Channel 5, Spelunky 2, Trials of Mana,
Spelunky 2.
And Zombie Army 4. With the Mobile World Congress 2020 also recently cancelled because of the coronavirus outbreak, so that's been outright cancelled. That's interesting.
Yeah, the entire event got cancelled.
We have to wonder whether the Electronic Entertainment Expo will be next.
Whew. Okay.
And then another. This is also one of the latest things. Is coming from a day ago for you guys, or 2 days ago for us. PlayStation and Facebook cancelled GDC plans, citing coronavirus concerns.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sony Interactive Entertainment and Facebook Gaming have cancelled their appearances at the Game Developers Conference due to growing concerns around the coronavirus outbreak. The conference takes place next month from March 16 to 20 at the Moscone Center in San Francisco. The news comes just 2 days after Sony pulled out of PAX East, a week before the convention, where the company was planning to demo more than 20 games, including the much-anticipated The Last of Us 2. Coronavirus has over 75,000 confirmed cases worldwide in 20 countries. Bear in mind, this is a couple of days old. The health crisis has disrupted the games industry, resulting in postponed game releases, such as the Outer Worlds port to Switch. Some competitive leagues, such as the Overwatch League, have had to rearrange their schedules due to the crisis. Despite cancelling its appearance at the show, Facebook still plans to make announcements digitally during GDC, particularly for its virtual reality company Oculus. Out of concern for the health and safety of our employees, our dev partners, and the GDC community, Facebook will not be attending this year's Game Developer Conference due to the evolving public health risks related to COVID-19 or coronavirus. A Facebook company spokesperson told Game Industry Biz, "We will plan to share the exciting announcements we have planned for the show through videos, online Q&As, and more, and we'll plan to host GDC partner meets remotely in the coming weeks. We continue to collaborate with UBM, GDC's parent company, and our partners, and thank them for their efforts." Sony provided a statement to Game Industry Biz as well, which reads, "We have made the difficult decision to cancel our participation at GDC due to the increasing concerns related to COVID-19. We felt this was the best option as the situation related to the virus and global travel restrictions are changing daily. We're disappointed to cancel our participation, but the health and safety of our global workforce is our highest concern."
Man, Nintendo's ahead of the curve here by attending events digitally, doing like the E3 directs and everything. They got a head start on this. Okay.
Exhibitors from China have had to cancel it or shift plans, and GDC organizers said around 10 of the 550 companies participating in the conference have been impacted by the coronavirus.
Okay.
We believe that based on the strict US quarantine around coronavirus and a large number of enhanced on-site measures, we are able to execute a safe and successful event for our community. So yeah, interesting stuff. If this keeps going, we're probably going to see a lot of online events this year. I'd say like everybody's just going to shift online. Like maybe even Microsoft for E3. Yeah, I mean it kind of makes sense. Like restrict your outdoor activities, people.
Sure, right. Stay inside and play some video games. Stay inside, play video games.
Large gatherings like this is like pretty dangerous in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. It's just like outside of like any sort of like highly infectious disease going around, like coronavirus or whatever, right? It's just like you come back from an event like E3 or CES, and you're probably gonna come down with a little something afterward, right? Yeah, let alone this thing. Yeah, Sony and a lot of other Japanese companies are playing this whole thing fairly conservatively. You know, it'd be a serious problem for Japan to get the coronavirus like widespread, rampant, and everything.
Same as South Korea.
Yeah, which we're starting to see. If you've been following South Korea the past couple days, they're up to 433 cases over like 3 days.
Wow.
So things aren't going great there. Japan is still in the 130s or so, but that might go up, and part of that number is inflated due to the Diamond cruise ship that's docked off Yokohama there. So
they've got a good 600 and something cases from that ship, but Japan isn't counting them as their main like infectious rate.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. Like personally, with this whole disease, nobody can really tell what's going to happen with it. It's still too early. China for a little bit seemed to have it slightly under control, like cases were dropping or like decreasing in infectious rate, and deaths were also dropping, which was good. But if it gets into Asia, I would say we're going to have a bit of quite a large issue.
Yeah. I mean, Asia is a hotbed for a lot of like tech events related, especially. And, you know, a lot of these tech events involve video games also, which is why they come into our radar quite a bit and everything, you know. So it's like GDC is one of them and everything, because that involves so many other Asian companies that are going to be sending people this direction and everything. Yeah, it should also be noted that it's kind of hard to get an idea of how bad this thing really is in terms of infectivity, because China's numbers aren't reliable. I guarantee you that right now. Yeah. So
I know, like part of me was like, I thought we were past this coronavirus like thing. I guess not. Like that's how much of the bubble I live in, right?
For a good 3 or 4 days, though, it seemed like, oh yeah, this might die out relatively soon.
Yeah.
But now it's exploded again, unfortunately, in other countries too. So I don't know. Like I want to say that China's like healthcare system and whatever hasn't helped at all, particularly for people who are on the lower class spectrum in China.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if it gets into a country like Japan or even here, you know, we've got a pretty decent healthcare system, as does Japan and South Korea.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can get people quarantined and under control and stuff.
I think that's I think that's kind of the key, right? Is just like the healthcare systems being able to handle this. I'm looking at the stats for the United States right now. We have 35 cases, a majority of which are in California.
From the cruise ship.
Yeah, or a majority of which are in California, which I'll elaborate on a little bit more as to why that might be important. It involves E3. It involves E3. I'm saying so. It's like you know, yeah. And so
I will say that a good majority of those are also from the cruise ship because you guys evacuated a good 100 and something people, didn't you?
Yeah, but they're being held in quarantine outside the U.S. or something like that.
No, they're at an Air Force base.
Probably in like,
or the
probably in like
in California, so I think that's where
San Diego area.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe. Okay.
I think that's where.
Well, I heard there was like something with like Santa Clara the other day. Like
America was on like 16 cases, and then the next day it spiked to 35 because of the.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, at least. I may be completely incorrect, but that's what I thought.
You know, here. Let me look at the map here on BNO News that has it. Yeah. So it's like there's like let's see. Yeah, majority of the cases are definitely in California. There is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the 35 cases are in California.
Perfect.
Yeah. Looks like
okay.
5 of them are in the Bay Area. Sorry, Andrew.
Even better.
Yeah. Right.
Which is where GDC takes place.
Yes, but also there have been 2 cases near LA. So, which is where E3 is, right? So the point is there is just like, well, you know, it's like there's coronavirus possibility with E3 and GDC there. Yeah. But anyway, the stat that I was paying attention to was like, so 35 cases in the United States, but 5 people have recovered from the virus in the United States, right? Receiving medical care, and no one has died in the United States.
No, I don't.
That's like, like we've got 19 overall, 19 cases, and 10 have recovered.
Yeah.
So at the moment we've only got 9 like active cases, and I think 2 of them are in Sydney, and the rest are in Darwin.
Yeah.
And when we
you're up to 11 recovered now, by the way.
Whatever. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So yeah, I think it's
Video
like
games.
Yeah, this one stuff. But not to be all doom and gloom. The good thing is, summer is coming for China and everything. So hopefully that will also give it a good kick up the rear end and get rid of the thing.
Yeah.
Because it's the cold that's affecting a lot of these people in China.
Right, just one of the symptoms is a viral
whatever.
pneumonia, or it's like one of the things is like viral pneumonia that gives you pneumonia doesn't do well in hot weather. So that's a good thing, right?
That's a very good thing.
Yeah,
I feel like we can't blame Sony for backing out.
No, you really can't. Yeah, just trying to understand what those companies are. It's gonna be interesting to see how the Olympics shape out in Japan this year.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, they have that to look out for.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Interesting stuff.
I hope that like Sony does something cool though, and like maybe like, oh yeah, sorry you couldn't play like Last of Us 2. Here's a demo.
Here's a demo.
Yeah, that'd be
neat.
super cool. I doubt they'll do it because I feel like that is just like every time a demo gets put out on the PSN, like somehow it gets cracked open and the whole game is there or something stupid.
What? How?
I don't know, but it happened like multiple times. Like Yakuza did that.
Yeah.
Some other games have probably done like that.
So if Sony can figure out how to make a demo properly, then maybe we'll see that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Crazy.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see, right? You know.
I also wonder if it's gonna like delay the console launches, but because like manufacturers are probably being done in China, right?
Most of it gets done in Taiwan, I think, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were talking about this either last week or a couple of weeks back. According to Sony and Microsoft, they're not being delayed as of yet.
Right.
They have no plans to delay them, but obviously if it's disrupts the supply chain and whatever, they can't really control it at all.
Yeah. Fun fact, Nintendo's going to be less affected by the whole supply chain thing because of what we've talked about on this podcast before, the tariffs the U.S. has passed against China and everything for stuff. And just like Nintendo moved a lot of their stuff out into the Philippines, I think. So for the Switch stuff, so yeah, something to keep in mind there. The Switch Pro is on the horizon, kids. Anyway, what else? What else there, Anthony?
Yes. So this is kind of relating to a couple of so a topic we discussed a couple like the past 2 weeks.
We swear this episode isn't all rehashes, okay?
Yeah.
This is more bad news, and the opening like text. It's not really a title, but anyway, this isn't good. This is coming from WindowsCentral.com. Bethesda Softworks games are being pulled from Nvidia Geforce now, except for Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Wow, arguably the one Bethesda game where you wouldn't want input latency in. Okay.
Exactly. While the Nvidia Geforce Now streaming service is seeing quite a bit of attention shortly after coming out of beta testing, more and more publishers are pulling their games. Today, Nvidia confirmed, this was written on 21st of February. Today, where was I? Here we go. Today, Nvidia confirmed on its forums that Bethesda Softworks is pulling most of its games from GeForce Now. The lone exception is Wolfenstein Youngblood, which will remain for the time being.
Oh, thank
Bethesda
God.
Softworks is the game's publishing arm of ZeniMax, publishing several franchises from the company's studios, including the Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Wolfenstein, and Doom games. Bethesda Softworks isn't the first publisher to pull out, however, as Activision Blizzard recently pulled all of its games, including Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the best-selling game of 2019 in the US. It hasn't all been bad news recently, as CD Projekt Red, of course, confirmed that the highly anticipated Cyberpunk 2077 would be supported by GeForce Now on day one. We'll continue to provide updates as publishers either support or pull out of the service. Nvidia GeForce Now differs from many streaming services in that it allows users to stream their own PC games that they buy, either in limited sessions, free, or with extended sessions for $5 a month. And that's it.
Okay.
So it's small news, but yeah.
Yeah, we talked about oh, it mentioned in the article. Never mind. Yeah, we covered last week about Activision Blizzard pulling out. Oh, this is kind of weird that this is happening to GeForce Now. Like, did Nvidia just not communicate with the developers as to what it might have been? And they would rather opt for people buying their game for a service again, as opposed to being able to stream it?
You still have to buy the game, don't you?
Yes, but I mean, like, buying the game again, sort of thing. Like, on a separate platform. Yeah.
Could be a contract issue, like, they just came out of beta or whatever, right? So like,
okay. So the contract should have only been for beta?
It's possible, or I don't know, I'm not...
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
That would make sense to me. Like, oh, we're out of beta, time to renegotiate these... And like, maybe they're exploring the option of Stadia or whatever, right? So.
Right. What do we think the logic behind keeping Wolfenstein is on there, on Blood, the co-op?
Probably because it's a new game, right? Like,
yeah.
It came out and didn't sell probably that well.
No, it wasn't really well received.
Wasn't a good game.
No, I didn't hear good things about it, but taking it down is only going to hurt it more, right? So you might as well just leave it up and see if you can make some kind of sense.
I don't know. I think part of the reason why we're seeing like Bethesda and Activision Blizzard pull out is because it's probably been that this has boomed with a lot of PC gamers, and they've kind of like gone and upped the sales a bit, I guess, for these games. And maybe these companies are like, well, we want the money more so than Nvidia. Give us on our platform. So then they go and take down the game or the series, and it turns into a bit of an issue because then people don't want to buy off Bethesda or whatever. So, but I don't like if you buy a game on Steam. Okay, I'm a tad confused. So if you buy a game on Steam, like if you buy Wolfenstein Youngblood on Steam, and you buy it on GeForce Now, what's the difference? Like, why?
Well, okay, so like GeForce Now doesn't actually have a market for you to buy games from. It's not like Stadia.
Have a what?
GeForce Now doesn't have a market like Stadia does to buy games from GeForce Now specifically. It's like, say you buy a game on an unrelated platform to Nvidia, so like Steam, Epic, etc. I only think Nvidia has their own game store, to be honest. And that game happens to be on GeForce Now. You can use GeForce Now's capabilities to play that game, to stream that game.
Why not just play it on Steam?
Or maybe you don't want to have it like downloaded to your computer or whatever.
Yeah, or maybe you're on like a laptop or whatever, right?
Okay, sure. That makes sense.
Yeah. So let's find the logic behind it. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. I don't see any harm in keeping your games on it, right? Like, if people have already paid you the money, it's like, okay, why does it matter if they're streaming it from GeForce Now?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you can still buy the game off GeForce Now, though.
Can you?
The games that are support. Yeah, that was what we were discussing 2 weeks ago. The games that are supported, you can still buy them off GeForce Now.
You can buy them
The
like
games you own, you bought it, you own it. Connect to your favorite stores and stream your library of games. There's nothing on here that like indicates I can specifically buy from Nvidia outside of the monthly membership.
Yeah, because it just links to your other accounts.
I
right?
thought it
That's-
linked and also.
No, I don't think
it
so.
links to your accounts, and you can just go.
So you can play one of the many free-to-play games available on GeForce Now. Okay, so that's a free-to-play option.
Oh, okay.
That they have games supported.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but okay.
But for all other games, you need to own or purchase. Okay, that makes sense. Sure.
You guys think there's like some sort of lobbying going on by Google, being like, "Hey, we want exclusive like game streaming rights to you"? You think that's happening?
They've kind of tried that, right? Maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know there are like certain games that are specifically Stadia exclusive, but like this is kind of a step further in saying like, okay, if you're gonna put your game on a game streaming service, we want it to be us.
Akin to like a Netflix or versus like an Amazon streaming kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, fellas, we'll give you a good whopping $20 million to give us your games.
Yeah.
Come on down.
I mean, yeah, it could be possible. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the market's not big enough yet for that to be a thing, but
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Some good old Epic Game Store tactics employed by Google.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's so funny how people get mad at Epic Games Store. Dude, consoles have been doing this for years, but no one
Right.
cares about
Yep.
that. But whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you do realize I can't reach you if you lie down.
Forgive Anthony talking to the chat. Yeah. All right. Again, I just like I keep coming back to it. I don't see the harm in keeping your game on GeForce Now. I really don't.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's some other issues like security issues. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I think it's just greed, to be honest. I think maybe it's like, I don't know.
But you don't. But they're not because you're still buying the game. You have to buy the game.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't.
Huh.
Maybe they pulled it because they want to try and get a contract or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm just trying to like spitball at the moment, like trying to figure out why. Maybe it's because of the free-to-play option.
Well, again, you already have to have the game to play it
No,
on
you
GeForce
don't.
Now. Yeah, you do.
No, you don't. You can test one of the free-to-play games. I just read that. Come on.
Which are the what are the one of the free play games?
Don't you own technically own?
You can play one of the many free-to-play games available on GeForce Now, but for all other games, you need to own or purchase them with one of the supported game stores.
Where do you see that?
But that
Nvidia, frequently asked questions.
That would be like Fortnite, right, or
FAQs,
something?
learn
Like,
more.
what would that be?
What is GeForce Now? How do I? Okay. Let's see here.
Yeah,
What games?
I can show you how to Google.
You
No, you
don't
can't
think
do
this means just like the many free-to-play games like Fortnite or something, right? That's what I'm taking it as.
That's what I would assume too.
Yeah.
But
have we got GeForce?
You don't have GeForce Now in Australia, Anthony. Sorry.
Okay, I want to look at their site though.
Here.
To play games.
I'll
here we
drop
go.
it in the doc.
Yeah, Dishonored 2.
Wait, where do you see that
Doom.
list? Where do you see that list?
I'm looking.
okay, hold on. Wait. This might not be.
Okay, so they're games that Bethesda pulled from it.
Yeah, these are just games that like are free to play in general, I think.
Yeah, it's not like GeForce Now is gonna let you play like Doom or something.
Yeah, like Apex Legends, I think. Like this is a list I have no idea how real it is, but I'm looking at it.
See
a
what
list here.
games are available. Oh, they have a
Yeah, there's a
search.
lot.
Okay. Yeah, there is a deal
But-
for it, right? And it's like yes, there are some free to play games on there, like Fortnite, that are like free. If you
They're already free to play,
yeah.
and you would just hook up your Epic account, and then you would do that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's like all 7 billion people in the world technically own Fortnite, right? It's free to play.
yeah. It's a matter of downloading it, right? So
Yeah.
Okay, don't give me a games list, you stupid thing.
Here's the games list that I found. I have no idea how accurate this is.
Link it in the
But-
doc, please.
Oh,
I
the
can't-
doc.
Yeah, I can't do the Discord message.
Games. Apex Legends. I'll go.
Oh wow, this is interesting table. Wow, good job, Nvidia.
Yeah. I think it's I don't know if it's from Nvidia, but it kind of seems like it.
gvnlist.com.
Free GeForce Now games list. Ion,
Yeah.
that's a free to play MMO. Albion free to play. Apex Legends
Destiny
free to play.
2.
That's also free to play.
think
These
it's
are
free to
all
play
like in
currently.
general free to play games.
Except for I don't know. Counter-Strike, is that free to play? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, EVE Online is free to play. Fortnite is free to play. Guild Wars 2 is now free to play.
Yeah, they're all free
Yeah.
to play games.
Kurt's Pal is free to play. Paladins is PoE. PlanetSide 2, Quake 2. Yeah.
Russian Fishing 4.
World of Warships, that's free to
Yeah.
play. World of Tanks. Interesting.
Gotta wrestle the fish.
That sounds badass. Russian Fishing 4. So, yeah. And this whole GeForce Now thing is just kind of like, it's been kind of bizarre to watch, I dare say, just because of how quietly it launched, and now we're just like, the only other news we're hearing about it besides it's like, oh yeah, it works like marginally better than Google Stadia, and it's like much more well executed, is like,
Yeah.
well, all these other guys are pulling out of GeForce Now.
Yeah, and it doesn't it works on a lot more like stuff already than Stadia, right? Like you can get the
Yeah, it does.
what should I call it? The Shield TV, right?
Yeah, it does. It works on like all the Android stuff in general too.
Okay. Yeah. So like
so it's like,
pretty much already have like well, not everyone, but a lot of people have those devices they can already.
yeah, exactly. Works on Windows, Mac, Nvidia, Shield, and Android. Yeah. Sorry, iOS.
Well, I mean that makes sense, right?
Yeah. The Shield stuff is like all Android based too. So, yeah.
Yeah. What is is Shield just like a mini computer? Or is
I
it
know
just
it's like it's not hard to explain. It's like so it's like Nvidia has this similar I don't want to call it a streaming service, but it's like what's like that PlayStation thing where it's like you could play a PS4 thing on the Vita or whatever.
Oh,
What's
okay.
that, Vita?
Share play.
Yeah, Nvidia Shield are pretty much like specialized devices to do that from like a PC or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Steam. What's it called?
Mhm.
Steam Play, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Or at least
like
that's
the
what it
cast or
originally
whatever.
was, but I think like Shield has like become something else lately. It's like a
Yeah, 'cause
streaming bots now.
I thought the Shield was a tablet.
It used to be. Now it's like a
Oh.
streaming bots.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Look,
I
it's
heard,
like Chromecast, but without it exploding. Okay.
Yeah, I heard good things about the Shield tablet. I thought that was like a cool thing, but.
It was ahead of its time. Let's put it like that. Okay.
I mean, it seemed like a good place
Yeah.
to play old games really easily,
Yeah.
which is like a cool thing.
Mhm.
Like if you're traveling a lot, you can just be like, boom,
Boom. 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 Boom.
play
Boom. Boom.
your Nintendo, play
Ooh,
Sony
headshot.
games, all that good stuff.
All right. So yeah, and yeah, it's just like, well, GeForce Now.
New York Times, seriously. You've got to have a subscription to view this article.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the New York Times. Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho.
What was it? Sorry, just
Cool,
coordinating
alright.
dinner plans.
I guess we'll
What?
just move right along unless you guys have anything to say about it.
Yeah, no. Okay. Sorry, just coordinating dinner plans on stream.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. So Andrew, let's get into some legal speak. My lawyer hat is up and ready. I just need some
Yeah,
links to stuff.
I don't have a lawyer hat personally. Oh, do you not have the link? Hold on.
No, put in the doc, please.
Yeah.
I can't do
Wait,
that.
that's the wrong one. Hold on. There we go. This one. This is from Game Revolution.
Okay.
But basically, Activision is issuing a subpoena to Reddit to find a Modern Warfare Battle Royale leaker. Oh, that is a handful of a title.
Wow.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is we talked about, I think, a couple podcasts ago.
At
but
some point lately.
yeah, Modern Warfare's what's it called? The
Battle Royale?
Battle Royale. I forgot what it's already called.
Alleged Battle Royale.
Oh, you're right. Correct. Alleged. We're
Yeah.
not confirming anything here.
Yes.
Warzone. I think that's what it is.
There you go, Warzone.
Warzone was kind of leaked, and it was like leaked through from what I understand, it was leaked through the in-game stuff. But I don't know. Here, I'll just read some of this stuff here, basically. Let's see. Torrentflick is to document. Okay, so there is the subpoena available as well. But let's see here. Oh, okay. Activision subpoena is asking for the identity of this
Reddit user. Yeah.
Yes, this user is Reddit user because they posted infringing Activision content. And I believe the first post was like, I stumbled across this screenshot. Like, is this true or something like that? Like,
Yeah.
it was pretty. It seemed pretty innocent. It didn't seem like malicious or anything. But of course, like, we don't know who this person is. If they were like on the inside, you know, if they were part of Activision and they leaked it, then they would be in trouble, right? Because of like NDAs. But if they're just a normal human and Activision is like seeking to find out their identity, like, so they're contacting Reddit, and through some kind of other legal stuff, they're allowed to do that and basically ask for like their information, which seems not cool.
Yeah, this should either be something or nothing, depending on So it's like Reddit doesn't require any sort of personal information. Email is optional, so you just need a username and password, and you're good to go, right? So hopefully this guy hasn't verified his email. The Reddit user account has since been deleted, although the comments for the post are still up, and there is a link to the Reddit thread. It's 10 days old now.
Which has also been removed.
Well, yeah, the image has been removed, but like all the comments are still up.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. This sounds a little much. Like, I know Activision's a big company and they want to protect like their stuff, but like, so far to going after like a single individual, it seems a little harsh and aggressive.
Yeah. Well, you know, at least they're not 2K and sent personal investigators to a leaker's house. So, already doing okay.
Can they, like, if he's stumbled across something,
which is what he claims to do. He claims it got sent to him and everything.
Let's say he's a legit guy. This is hypothetical, of course. And he's stumbled across a screenshot or like been in a game and gone through a map or whatever. However, they came across this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And stumbled across the Battle Royale map. Okay. And he's posted on the thread saying, "Is this real?" Okay, so he can't get like in trouble for doing this. He's asking a question. Like,
no, I guess what it comes down to is whether or not he's someone internal at Infinity Ward or Activision, right? Because if it's just like this, if this is just like a person who simply like came across a bunch of stuff and was sharing it, then it's like there's nothing Activision can really do. But I think what it's coming down to is like Activision needs to know if there's somebody leaking from the inside.
Possibly, yeah. So that might be why they need email and whatever.
Yeah. The guy was smart. He would have been using a VPN, throwaway account, stuff like that, right?
Because you can always get tracked through the IP address. But
yeah, if you didn't do any sort of nefarious things online, or maybe less than savory things, some shady stuff, always get a VPN, kids.
Yeah. You should. I should get one of those.
Right.
Says Andrew, who's looking to leak some stuff.
No, I don't leak anything.
We'll subpoena Andrew if you leak internal COD chats. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
Post those up.
Totally.
I probably shouldn't joke about that, considering I do have a significant other in. But that's not the point.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I don't know. I still think it's a little bit much, right? I definitely thought the 2K thing was much, but like actually getting a court order to turn over documents regarding this guy's personal identity is like.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it could just be a scare tactic too, to like anyone thinking about like leaking stuff.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think Reddit might not be able to do it if the user happens to be in California.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not certain about the specific privacy laws, but I know it's just like. It's like companies can't in California. There's a lot stricter on what data companies can retain about users.
For sure, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's even worse for him if he happens to be in the European Union. So,
yeah, definitely.
I know. I think Reddit's pretty good about like protecting their users. It seems like so.
They do it. They do a transparency report every year because Reddit actually gets quite a bit of subpoenas over the course of a year. and they talked about like every single subpoena and every single result, and most of them are just like minor things, like there was allegorical to an ongoing investigation or whatever, we complied or whatever. There are some instances where Reddit didn't comply for like XYZ, they thought they were within their legal rights not to comply with it, took it to court, won. There are other times where it's just like, oh, this is actually like a major thing, so
yeah.
So yeah, Reddit itself getting a subpoena is not out of the ordinary. For this particular reason is a little bit interesting.
Seems a bit much, yeah. So I'm thinking, like, if they've gone to this extreme, maybe they have maybe they've got an inclination that this is a staff member who is
possibly,
whatever. Like, why would I don't really understand why they go to the extreme to subpoena Reddit if it's just a normal user. So I think they've probably got like a larger idea of what's going on, or like whatever the term is.
Yeah.
I can't talk today, so sorry about that.
Awesome.
But yeah, so I'm thinking maybe they think it's like an Activision employee. There you go. So yeah, I would say that's probably their reasoning for doing this, to be honest.
Okay. Interesting where this might lead, I guess. Yeah.
Now you work.
What?
Yeah. And it's like I feel like they already had like the Battle Royale like screen up, like the fake classified thing up.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's even a big deal. But...
I'm sure if you busted into the files, you could actually find the Battle Royale stuff in there, right?
Busting in.
Well, yeah, we talked about last week when people
doing some
looked
hacking
at a map and found it. So
yeah.
or it got put in a lobby on accident.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's pretty.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we know it's done. We just don't know when. People have speculated like March 18th or whatever is what I've heard going around. That seems a little bit late. That's about like halfway through season 2, and it's like, why would you release that halfway through? Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe by the end of February. I don't know. Maybe something will just ninja drop on Tuesday this week. I don't know. I'm not privy to any sort of information. Don't quote me.
We're getting an announcement now.
Yeah. Ray. Okay. Yeah. So anything else to say about the subpoena?
No, I just thought it was interesting because you don't hear individuals every day, every leaker getting called out like this.
Right, yeah. Definitely a war on leaking, right? Which is interesting because we see like phone companies embrace leaking so much. Like Google purposefully leaked the Pixel 4 themselves to generate hype around it. And that that turned out to be one of the most disappointing phones, but yeah.
Didn't the iPhone do that like originally back in the day? Like the bar or something like that, and people freaked out and like years later figured out it was like all on purpose.
Yeah, Apple was notorious for having engineers that maybe drank a little bit too much and left their prototype models on bar counters.
Yeah.
How's what Nintendo did the other week with that Pokemon leaker?
Oh,
yeah. Did you guys hear about that?
Let me pull up an article about it. We'll cover it real quick.
We've got the article.
Oh, do we? Okay, well, let me just go on to cultureofgaming.com and I'll read from that. If the site will load. There it goes. An amazing. Ooh, I need to read the review of the World of Horror thing because, yeah. Anyway, what is it? What was it in a news category?
Yep.
Okay, let's see it. It's fine. No, I don't want to subscribe to the letter. Nintendo ends relationship with the gaming website after Pokemon Sword and Shield leaks, thanks to Oscar Navarro, one of our longtime news writers. As many noticed, Pokemon Sword and Shield suffered from a heavy case of leaks prior to release. A week before launch, various images regarding unknown aspects of the game, including new Pokemon, surfaced and spread online. As expected, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company began to investigate accordingly. Nintendo had reportedly discovered the identity of the persons behind the leaked content and planned to take legal action. Surprisingly, both it and the Pokemon Company released a joint statement today revealing the identity of those responsible. The complaint statement reads as follows. In early November, Nintendo identified a number of photographs taken from gameplay that revealed multiple new and unannounced Pokemon from Pokemon Sword and Shield. We identified the people. As a result, Nintendo will no longer work with FN Nintendo, or F Nintendo. That's apparently a website. I've never heard of it before.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're like a Spanish website.
Oh, okay. Soon after, F Nintendo announced its own statement acknowledging the break in the embargo. The site also mentioned that it has terminated its employment of the reviewer that leaked stuff. Okay. Yeah. Companies are cracking down. Be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful out there.
Yeah.
Get a VPN, kids. Well, there we go. Now it works.
Right. Yeah. Is it? I don't know. You think it's a little bit much, like, you know?
What?
Huh?
What?
Like, you know, companies like aggressively pursuing leakers so much.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, people work really hard on this stuff, and
Right.
they get leaked. Like, that sucks, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it does make sense. But at the same time, also, I feel like leaking can be a good thing for a game because people are like, oh, I actually see what it is now. I'm a lot more excited for this game, right?
yeah, I mean, it could go both ways though too. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
true.
this game looks terrible. Never mind.
Yeah.
So.
What's impressive is how under wraps Apex Legends was able to keep.
Yeah.
Oh, that
well,
was
I think it was like a
insane.
week before.
Yeah, there was
right?
like a leak a few days before it actually got announced, which isn't bad, I don't think.
But I think with that leak, Respawn jumped on board with that and were like, yeah, we actually
Yeah,
do
we'll
have
see you
something
on Sunday
out.
or whatever, right?
We'll
for
see
the
you on
announcement.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Oh, I also
Yeah.
remember someone like totally leaking the like entire map on Reddit of that game,
Oh yeah.
and other people are just like, "No, you're a dummy." That's not
Yes. Yeah, we talked about that when Apex. I remember we talked about
Yeah.
that. It's like, oh yeah, I saw
Yeah.
an image. It's like a couple. Yeah, that was funny. Okay. All right. Anything else to say about leakers?
Get a VPN,
Don't
kids.
do it, man.
These companies need some flex
Think
tape.
before you leak. We should make like a PSA.
Yeah. Yeah. These companies need flex tape.
Yeah.
I will say. Yeah. Okay. So, my story that I'm bringing to show and tell this week comes to us from Kotaku also. And some of you might remember a long lost game called Starcraft Ghost. It was in development for
long time ago.
GameCube and Xbox way back in the early 2000s and everything. And it was a third-person tactical shooter set in the Starcraft universe, starring the prominent ghost character Nova. Nova Terra from the Starcraft universe. Huge fan of Starcraft, and you know that was kind of at the peak of Brood War, early 2000s there, so pretty cool. But the game went quiet for about a decade, maybe a little over a decade, until in 2014, Blizzard officially confirmed the game had been canceled way back when. So yeah, quit asking them about it, right? But it seems a playable Xbox build of StarCraft Ghost has leaked. Article reads, here's something I didn't expect to see today. New gameplay footage of StarCraft Ghost, the third-person shooter had a rocky and well-known development history before being officially canceled by Blizzard, or confirmed in 2014. Now, an early Xbox build, now this is original Xbox build, seems to have leaked out and popped up online. Andrew Borman posted some screenshots on Twitter, but quickly pointed out that he had nothing to do with the leak. And that the screens were posted anonymously in some Xbox groups earlier. But someone else who seems to have access to this leaked Xbox build uploaded more than just screenshots. YouTube user Lears Menezes uploaded a 13-minute clip of gameplay from the third mission of what looks to be the same build seen in the screenshots that Borman posted. The video was uploaded early Sunday morning in the US. This was like last week, by the way. This was on February 16th. And shows some basic shooting and jumping gameplay. Looks like a lot of the standard shooters and action games we got back in the early 2000s, which might be another reason this game never got finished and released. And so basically what they're doing is like the most thing it had going for it was being set in the StarCraft universe. According to the uploader of the gameplay clip, the build is from an Xbox dev kit and was recently uploaded. In the footage we see Menzies using a modded Xbox 360 to access the game. He also says that the first two missions aren't working properly. Folks over at Reset Era are also sharing this clip and theorizing that it might have came from a dev kit leak. Not long after this video was uploaded to YouTube, someone else seems to have posted footage of a different mission, but it caused the uploader's Xbox to crash. Another user, Delso Bezerra, also uploaded some high-quality footage of what appears to be the same Xbox build of Ghost. StarCraft Ghost was first announced way back in 2002 for the GameCube, Xbox, and PS2. Numerous delays. It was eventually canceled sometime around 2005 or 6. Not officially canceled until confirmed canceled in 2014. And then the latest update to the story, Twitter user Days After Rodeo contacted me, me being the author of this Kotaku article, with a link to what they claim is the build that people are downloading. He explained that this leaked build is from a dev kit and shared a screenshot of a dev kit with StarCraft Ghost on it. So it seems this is out there and we are probably going to be learning a lot more about the game in the coming days and weeks.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool things like this exist, right? Like a
Right.
game that's like notorious, like kind of like a legend.
Yeah.
And like now finally like people like, hey, you can like see what it's all about.
It's like, oh, we finally get to play it somehow, right?
Yeah, I was listening to another podcast, the Giant Bombcast, and he was saying like, oh yeah, I played that game today. I was like, well, that's wild. Like, people played this game and like it clearly exists.
Yeah.
Right? And nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
See,
cool.
up until now, I was convinced it was all just a conspiracy and fabricated game that people had claimed existed but never actually did, right? But now it's just like, oh, it's actually real. I do know that I need to get my hands on a link to this dev kit, everything, try and figure it out, using a VPN, of course, so I don't get flex taped by the companies. Yeah.
You don't get indicted.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm sure that exists if you want to do that.
Yeah, find it.
Yeah, because people were, I'm sorry if you glossed over that, people were getting it running on like an emulator, right?
Yes, more or less. So yeah, because like the Xbox 360 was compatible with Xbox original Xbox games.
Right.
Yeah.
Some models were, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, it's the Microsoft developed emulator for the Xbox, which is pretty cool, right? So that's going to be the best environment you can possibly run this thing in.
Got it. That's neat. Did you guys watch the footage of it?
No, I didn't. I haven't watched the footage of it yet.
Hey man, it is. Oof.
It's rough.
You forget sometimes what HD did for televisions.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, it is like blurry and just like you're squinting. Like I think that's a gun. I don't know.
Is that a Zerg
It's a stick.
Is that a Zerg blade? I can't even tell.
So it looks fine. Like I looked. Like, if it came out, I think at the time it would have been totally fine. But
okay.
It's weird that they canceled this.
Yeah.
For being so like.
Samey,
done.
allegedly.
Well, not.
Yeah.
I know, but the game looks like it's like pretty much, like, not done, but like made. It's like they just need to put it together, right?
Oh, okay.
Together,
you think it's more or less there? They just need to like tie everything up.
Yeah, because like clearly, like there were like what I watched, there was like someone like cloaking, like they had the powers. It wasn't just like like a person running around like a little weird gray area. It was like fully developed. Like,
yeah. Okay.
So it's interesting that they just canceled it.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? If they just think it's not doing anything new, right? That's what I mean. That's kind of how.
Yeah, that's
Blizzard is.
Yeah,
right?
that's how Blizzard was at least, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. StarCraft always has had like a bit of a harsh development cycle and everything. StarCraft 2 didn't come out until 2010. That was the only thing StarCraft had seen since Brood War in 90.
Right. I remember that being a huge deal when StarCraft 2 came out.
Yeah, it was massive.
I didn't understand because I didn't play RTS, but I was like, okay.
Yeah. See, I had only played like World of Warcraft at the time, and I was just kind of like becoming a fan of Blizzard. So I was like, oh, this is cool. There's a lot of hype around. I want to get into StarCraft 2, and I love that game. Almost went pro in it. No joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, maybe StarCraft 3 in 2020. We don't know.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
RTS,
you can dream.
Yeah.
Dream.
Yeah. RTS is in a great place right now. Just like the only real like RTS esport is StarCraft. So.
Yeah. And they do a Command and Conquer on your phone.
Yeah.
I
remember it's like they got a pro StarCraft player to demonstrate the Command and Conquer on your phone. It was just like I died a little inside watching that entire demo, to be honest.
Love it.
Yeah.
So good. Such a good game.
It's incredible.
Game of the year.
You shut your mouth. It's incredible. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, StarCraft Ghost is like the Ghost of Christmas future, I guess. Something that could have been, but never was. Yeah. I don't know, I got nothing else to say. I just thought this was a cool story. I like StarCraft.
Never played it.
Okay. Probably shouldn't play it.
Don't really know what it is, to be honest.
Okay. It's a Korean thing you want to understand. Yeah. Yeah, any other things to bring up here? Or I think that might wrap things.
It's been a slow week. Slow news week.
Yeah, slow news week. Just little bits and pieces of topics, Just like matter-of-factual topics, right? It's just like, well,
Are games coming out yet?
Anthony? Yeah. Anything neat?
I want to play some new games.
I want to play some new video.
New video? Well, we ain't got... Sorry, dude. So, coming February 25th, we have 2 Point Hospital, which is going to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Infliction Extended Cut is going to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, also on February 25th. Warlander is going to PC on February 26th. Edgar, something or other, is going to PC, Xbox One, and Switch on February 26th as well. Overpass is going to PC, PS4, and Xbox One on February 27th. Kingdom Under Fire, The Crusaders, is going to PC on February 28th.
Mm-hmm.
Metro Redux is going to Switch on February 26th.
Really?
28th, sorry.
Okay.
That'd be interesting to see that one.
Blood Roots is going to PC, PS4, and Switch on February 28th. Romance of the Three Kingdoms is coming on. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14 is going to PC and PS4 on February 28th.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, One Punch Man, Hero Nobody Knows, is going to PC, PS4, and Xbox One on February 28th.
I wish that was like a real fighting game.
Yeah. Game's probably going to be
Nah,
bad, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
Next month isn't really much better. Although we do have a couple of good games coming out. Don't get me wrong.
Next month is I'm excited. We got Doom.
Yeah.
I know.
And Animal Crossing.
So this was the point they had a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
So yes, there's like 3 or so games coming out. But overall, over the month, there's only like 15 games. That's it.
Oh, okay. I understand your point now. Got it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10,
Okay.
18, 19, 20, 21 games coming.
Sure.
I want to really play Animal Crossing. I never really played it, but like I'm in the perfect mood for like chill out and like just do some like random stuff.
That's why you should play Doom instead, right?
I want to play both.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Oh,
But
man.
Doom's the more chill out game.
no way, dude. I hope
I'm
it's
joking.
okay.
Come on.
Yeah,
It's like, well,
you know,
Doom
like the
1
meme
was-
going around, right? Where it's just like one game you survive a hellscape of demon spawn, the next game is Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next
that's
game you
good.
go to hell.
There's some really good fan art I saw of like I don't know, is it Isabel? Is
Yeah,
that her
Isabel the
name?
dog. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like in the like Doomslayer suit, like just crushing a demon skull.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty good.
That
There's
was
some
legit
good...
like a really well done
Oh, yeah,
fan
yeah.
art too. Like
I
meme
wish I
aside, it was
knew.
really well done.
I wish I knew the artist, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's like a weird crossover that I don't think anyone was expecting, like
Yeah.
between those two communities.
It's a pretty fun meme, I think.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. All right. So Anthony, where can good people
And then
find you online?
I am at SoMatman19. I don't
Okay.
so much so. I do the site's social media.
Find
So
them
if you want
there.
to get in contact with me, then you can do so through those avenues.
Okay. Andrew, how about yourself?
Yeah, you guys can find me at Duronski. That's DURNSKI. Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff.
Okay. You can find
Over
me
there.
on Twitter at Infurious7809. That is at INFERIUS7809, where I tweet about all sorts of different stuff. Okay. Very, very, very different things. Okay. So
Nice.
yeah, hit me up over there. And anyway, so thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you guys back next week, hopefully with a more exciting news week. Let's get some things going, people. Okay. So once again, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Bye-bye.